To the members of Empowering Word Ministries and to Pastor John F. Clayton, thank you so much for holding a World AIDS Day event. My name is Jason Howard Green, and I got a phone call from my sister, Miss Angel Gravely, where I heard about your event, and I just wanted to stop in and share just a few words. I have been working in the field of HIV for almost 2 decades, and I'm excited that there's still a church who think that this work is important. Um, I got involved a long time ago working for an organization called AIDS Project Arizona. And then I started working with the Arizona Department of Health and Safety because I recognized that we needed to start targeting a message specifically but for black folks because there was this transition that started and we started seeing more and more black people getting infected. And then I would go on to start my own organization called the Arizona Black AIDS Task Force. So I've been doing the work for a long time. And unfortunately, many people think that HIV is a thing of the past. But I'm happy and excited to see that people realize the truth and know that we should still be having these conversations. Um, it is still important that we talk about what's happening, specifically when it comes to black folks. I actually went in and looked at the epidemiology for the state of Pennsylvania, and I see that while Pennsylvania is 80% white, only 11% black, I found out that 48% of the people living with HIV are black in the state of Pennsylvania. When we look at new diagnosis happening there, again, new diagnosis, 46.8% black. That's not unique to Pennsylvania. That's what's happening everywhere. And that's what's been happening for a long time. That's why it's important that black folks are aware that we need to be having these conversations because we're the ones that are being affected by it. And it's so important that these conversations be headed by and happening in the black church. So, Empowering Word Ministries, thank you so much for doing this because we still need to hear it. I don't want to answer these questions for you. I just want to throw a few questions out there for you, and I hope this conversation happens today because there's some things that the church can be doing and should be doing that will hopefully impact folks and educate folks and help eradicate and reduce numbers for black folks. But since these conversations aren't happening, I'm wondering, can you throw the question out there to the congregation? Do we know how people contract this disease? There is a finite number of ways a person can get HIV. There's only a few ways it can happen. Do we know what those ways are? I don't know if people are still having those conversations. Um, ask, if you could, ask the people that are there today. If you know someone who is positive or concerned that they may be positive, do you know where to send that individual? Do you know where a person can go to get tested? Do you know where a person can go to get the resources that they need? People like to say nowadays that, people are living with the disease, that people aren't dying from the disease anymore. That's only partially true. The reality is, people can live with this disease nowadays if they're aware that they have it. So people get tested. I have a very dear friend who just found out last year that he was positive. And he didn't go in just to get a test. This was his just regular routine annual physical. He went in to see his doctor just for the end of year. And the doctor went through and just asked, do you want this done? Do you want this done? And they decided, okay, let's also do an HIV test. That test came back positive. It's so important that we know our status. It's so important that we know where to go get the resources that we need. I'm hoping that these conversations are happening. I thank you for hosting this event. I thank you for allowing me to share a few words. And I acknowledge you and the work that you're doing because this is still important. Take care.